When you named the band, you could have named it Mark Foster. You named it Foster the People. And I always find it interesting when, someone just, the so-and-so band. By putting band after their name, it starts to turn it into a band and not a solo thing. And I have no idea why you did, and I just wonder why. What was the thought process there?
Well, when we first started playing together, the guys were still playing in other projects and stuff, and we were going just by Mark Foster. And but I think it felt so good between, the three of us that, I just told him, I'm like, guys, let's make this a band. Like, let's do this together. I don't want this to be like all about me. I think that there's something that all of us bring to the table that we can all share in.
Does it make it easier to write in a character when you create a little bit of a buffer there?
It's really fun to write in character. I love studying people. I observe all different types of people around me, and I love the psychology behind like what makes certain types of people work. And so if I get into the headspace of someone, it's pretty easy, I think, to like imagine what their life would be like. But I write autobiographically as well. I think sometimes it's more vulnerable to write that way, for sure. But at the same time, it's really kind of whatever I'm feeling that day.
Does it bother you to be that vulnerable, or do you enjoy it?
No, it can be tough, especially if you're writing about someone real that's in your life. I learned, I think probably a few years ago, I really don't like to do that anymore because it can be really aggressive if like you're going through a breakup, or it can be like the worst thing you can do to someone, especially if you're a good songwriter. Because you write this killer song about how like terrible that person was or whatever, So I wrote
they don't get to defend themselves.
They can't defend themselves, and then other people are singing the lyrics to a song that's about them. Yeah. I think I wrote like a whole record about my ex-girlfriend, and and it was just like, so I don't do that anymore, but I'll use people in my life as inspiration to write about,
Would you tell them afterwards that you wrote that song about them?
If it's a positive song, then yeah. I won't tell them if it's not.
Yeah. I saw you in another interview talking about when you were a kid, you went to a psychologist who ratted you out for smoking pot to your parents.
Okay, yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Do you still smoke pot?
Sometimes I do. I don't really, I kind of got to a point where it just makes me paranoid. I really, but every once in a while I'll take a little puff. I had my medical card in LA, so it was, it was like work-related stress. Right. It was really good for that. But now it's just, I stay away from it.
I always wonder from the artist's perspective, some people say it makes me more creative, some people say it puts up a roadblock and that's it.
Well, when I was like composing for commercials, it was really good for me because I wouldn't edit myself so much. So, I would be freaking out because I'd have like 3 different things due the next day. And so I was just like, I took a little puff and just relaxed into it. I'm like, okay, like I don't need to do this. It doesn't need to be done in 10 minutes. I'm just gonna chill and just put one foot in front of the next, and ended up writing a really killer cover. So.
You used to work in a pizza shop.
Yeah.
I worked in a pizza shop. I still look at it as one of the greatest jobs I've ever had in my life. Was it a good time for you? You were a delivery guy, right?
Yeah, I loved it. You pretty much don't really have a boss. You're in your car the whole time. It's like to talk on the phone, listen to music. Like you're always meeting like strange people. It's cool.
I noticed, you have your regulars, and you know exactly how much they tip. Right. And there's certain people who maybe weren't as kind to me, who maybe I wasn't as kind to when making their pizzas. And I wonder if you ever had an experience like that. You ever do anything bad to someone's pizza?
I never did. I always thought that I never did, but the cooks, because I didn't actually cook the pizza, I just delivered the pizza. But the Beverly Hills Police Department ordered a pizza one time, and the cooks that made the pizza put stuff in there that was like, I couldn't believe. They took stuff out of the sink and put it in the pizza, and then cut a hot dog in half and stuck it in the middle of the pizza.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, right.
So I wanted to ask you one other thing. Can you look into the camera and send yourself a message? And 10 years from now, I'm going to track you down and I'm going to play this thing for you. And I'm curious, what would you like to say to yourself 10 years from now?
10 years from now. Mark, I hope you're still alive. And if you are, I hope you're not smoking cigarettes anymore. I'm supposed to quit today.
How's that going?
Well, I've got a full pack in my pocket, so it's not going that good.
As long as it's full.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to keep it full,
Yeah.
you know?
Listen, thank you so much for doing the interview, and congratulations on all the success, and best of luck with everything else down the road, man.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. It's a pleasure.